Hi, my name's Liam. And if someone had told me my life would completely change because of a single piece of clothing, I'd have laughed them out of the room. But here I am, sitting in my room, well, my new room, telling you this story. And trust me, you'll want to listen. The attic smelled of dust and nostalgia, a musty blend of forgotten memories and faded dreams. I pulled my sweater tighter around my shoulders, the chill from the rafters creeping into my bones. Noah, are you sure there's anything up here? I called out, poking my head past a pile of old trunks. The light from the small window barely penetrated the gloom, casting eerie shadows that danced along the walls. Just keep looking. There's gotta be something cool, Noah replied, his voice echoing from the other side of the attic. He was rummaging through a stack of boxes, excitement buzzing in his tone. Rolling my eyes, I stepped carefully over a broken chair, my foot catching on a stray leg. I'm not sure cool is the word I'd use to describe this place. More like haunted. I grinned, trying to lighten the mood. Haunted or not, it's still our adventure. Noah laughed, his enthusiasm infectious. As I continued my search, I spotted a glimmering fabric peeking out from behind a dusty old trunk. Curiosity piqued, I reached for it. My fingers brushed against the delicate texture, and I pulled out what appeared to be a shimmering dress. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen, bright, ethereal, almost glowing in the dim light. Noah, you've got to see this. He appeared at my side, his eyes widening as he took in the sight of the dress. Whoa, that's amazing. He reached out, his fingers grazing the fabric. Do you think it's magical? Laugh escaped me. Right, because dresses can totally cast spells. But even as I said it, a strange thrill coursed through me. I have to try it on. Are you serious? You'd actually wear it? Noah raised an eyebrow, amusement flickering in his gaze. Why not? It's just a dress. I smirked, already slipping it over my head. The fabric flowed around me, cool and light. As it settled against my skin, I felt a sudden rush, like electricity jolting through my body. Whoa, this feels weird. Noah's eyes widened. You look ridiculous. I cut him off, catching a glimpse of myself in the dusty mirror. The dress shimmered against my skin, and for a fleeting moment I felt beautiful. Okay, maybe not ridiculous. But just as I was about to step back, a wave of dizziness washed over me. I stumbled, grasping the edge of the mirror for support. My reflection wavered, and in a blink, everything changed. The attic faded away, replaced by a rush of colors and sensations that engulfed me. I gasped, a sound escaping my lips that wasn't my own. When the world settled around me, I found myself in my bedroom, except it wasn't my bedroom anymore. Pink walls surrounded me, floral decorations twinkling like stars, and a wardrobe overflowing with dresses stood tall in the corner. What the? I stumbled backward, my heart racing. Noah! I rushed downstairs, the echoes of my own voice feeling foreign. Had I really just transformed into a girl? The thought made my head spin. I burst into the living room where my mom sat, a mug of coffee cradled between her hands. Lila, sweetie, you're home early. How was school? She asked, her eyes sparkling with warmth. Lila, I repeated, confusion lacing my voice. Mom, it's me, Liam. Her smile faltered for a moment, but then she chuckled. Oh, you're just being shy about your new name. It's adorable. No, I'm serious. I shouted, but the words fell flat. A chill ran down my spine as the realization hit me. I was Lila now, and everyone in my life acted like Liam had never existed. I ran to my room, or Lila's room, I supposed. The pink walls seemed to mock me, and the array of makeup sprawled across the vanity made my stomach churn. How was this possible? I grabbed my phone, desperately trying to call Noah, but the contact list was filled with names I didn't recognize. Why is this happening? I moaned, flopping onto the bed. As I stared up at the ceiling, a voice in my head whispered that maybe this wasn't all bad. Maybe I could explore this new identity just for a bit. The days rolled into weeks, and I found myself becoming accustomed to Lila's life. I experimented with makeup, dabbing colors onto my cheeks and painting my nails bright shades. My hair, once a nondescript brown, transformed into an immaculate cascade of waves. I twirled in front of the mirror, the dress swirling around me, and for the first time I felt a flicker of joy. "Noah, you've got to see this," I exclaimed one day, rushing over to his house. The garden was blooming with bright flowers, and the sun cast a golden hue over everything. "Lila, wow, you look stunning." Noah's face lit up with genuine admiration. "I can't believe you've embraced this so much." "I know, right?" I giggled, twirling again. "It's kind of freeing. Like I've discovered a whole new part of myself." "Just don't forget who you are inside," he warned, a hint of seriousness creeping into his tone. I nodded, but deep down I felt more like Lila every day. School became a whirlwind of new experiences. I navigated the hallways adorned with bright lockers, laughter echoing off the walls. Ethan, a charming classmate with tousled hair and a disarming smile, began to take notice of me. "Hey, Lila," he called one afternoon, leaning against a locker. "You look incredible today." "Thanks, Ethan," beamed, my heart racing. There was something magnetic about him, a spark that made my cheeks flush. His laughter was warm, wrapping around me like a cozy blanket. "Want to grab coffee after school? I'd love to get to know you better." "Sure," I replied, the word tumbling out before I could second-guess myself. As we sat in a quaint cafe, sipping steaming lattes, I felt a connection blossoming. "So, Lila," he began, his gaze intense. "What's your story? You seem different, like you've come into your own." I hesitated, the weight of my past pressing against me. "I guess I just found a new side to myself," I admitted, the truth spilling from my lips. "It's like I've been reborn." Ethan grinned, his eyes twinkling. "That's beautiful. I think everyone should feel that way." As days turned into weeks, Ethan and I grew closer. Our dates filled with laughter and shared secrets, and I found myself falling for him, hard. Every time our hands brushed, electricity coursed through me. I was no longer just Lila. I was becoming someone entirely new, someone I liked. But with every moment of bliss came pangs of doubt. "Noah, I don't know if I can do this anymore," I confessed one afternoon as we sat in the garden, the sun casting a golden glow around us. "What do you mean?" Noah frowned, concern etched on his face. "I mean, what if this isn't who I'm meant to be? What if I'm just playing dress-up?" I sighed, plucking at the petals of a flower. "Lila, you're not just playing dress-up. You're exploring who you are. And if you're happy, why fight it?" His voice was steady, filled with understanding. "I know, but what about Liam?" I whispered, the name feeling foreign on my tongue. "Liam is part of you," Noah assured. "But Lila is who you've become. You don't have to choose one over the other." I contemplated his words, the truth sinking in. Maybe I didn't have to let go of my past entirely. I could embrace both sides of myself. As I sat in Ethan's car one night, parked under a blanket of stars, I leaned closer to him, a warmth unfurling in my chest. "Ethan," my voice trailed off, uncertainty lingering in the air. "Yeah." He turned to me, his eyes searching mine. "I like you," I admitted, my heart racing. "Like really like you." His smile widened, illuminating his features. "I like you too, Lila. You're amazing." Before I could respond, he leaned in, his lips brushing against mine. It was soft, tentative, and sent sparks racing through my body. In that moment everything felt right. I was Lila, and I was falling in love. But even as our relationship deepened, a nagging voice whispered in the back of my mind. What would happen when the magic of the dress faded? Would I lose everything I'd found? One evening, as I stood in front of the mirror, dressed for a date with Ethan, I caught a glimpse of the dress hanging in my closet. The fabric shimmered enticingly, but a wave of dread washed over me. What if I never returned to Liam? What if I lost the chance to reconcile both parts of myself? Lila. Noah's voice broke my reverie as he stepped into my room. You ready for tonight? Yeah, just thinking, I replied, turning away from the mirror. About what? He asked, concern etched in his features. About who I am, I confessed. I'm scared of losing Liam forever. Lila, you don't have to lose him, Noah said gently. You're still the same person at your core. This dress, this life, they're just parts of your journey. Nodding, I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of his words settle around me. You're right. I need to embrace both sides. That night, as I walked hand in hand with Ethan beneath a sky brimming with stars, I felt a sense of peace. I was Lila, but I was also Liam. The two identities could coexist, woven together like the delicate threads of the dress I wore. As the weeks unfolded, I began to carve out a life that blended both identities. I still wore the dress, experimented with makeup, and twirled in front of the mirror. But I also embraced the things I loved as Liam, gaming with Noah, hiking in the woods, and hanging out with friends. One sunny afternoon, I found myself back in Noah's grandmother's garden. The flowers danced in the breeze, and I felt a connection to the magic that had transformed me. Noah, do you think the dress is still magical? I asked, glancing at him. Maybe it is in a way, he mused, plucking a flower. It helped you discover who you really are. Yeah, I smiled, a warmth spreading through me. And I'm grateful for that. As I watched the petals flutter in the wind, I realized that my journey had just begun. I was Lila, I was Liam, and I was ready to embrace all that I could become.